Hi, Super Spruce here, back with another 5 Hours Elite Update video, episode 4, and it's just been a while since the recording of last episode, and yeah, this update thing is completely overpowered, 105 times multiplier to all production, and like 13 times patience meter gain, and dev gain from recruitment. So yeah, that means I have 220 devs, which is insane. It's probably best spent here, look at that, whoa, I can all of a sudden... Look at this. I can get like 400. I get like 400 devs. And it could just keep going. And this is going to help things even more. This is insane. I barely even need to prestige at this point. This is insane. Then once I put everything back to 0 and do this, 3 hours gain of everything. So this is going to give me 70 times multiplier to production. And literally, I think once you get the slower scaling... it gets, oh yeah, and the efficiency, just everything is completely OP at this point. And then just put a little bit into patience meter, and then just zero everything out and put it all into development and gain 3 hours of this, which means yes, I'm gonna get a crazy amount of devs, a crazy amount of production, and a crazy amount of, or just a tiny amount of time to get the patience meter to max out, which is pretty crazy. And you see there's so much that's happening so quickly, and what it looks like I can just keep going here, and then I can prestige when everything reaches a little bit less, and I'm gonna try to go for more update points. I've heard it's like I've heard it costs like I don't know, like you have to get to 6 hours of development to get more update points. So that's basically what I'm doing. I don't know why it seems a little bit slower. Yeah, it's the patience meter that I need to actually focus on. Like, so sometimes I need to actually really focus on that patience meter. It's now down to like 10 seconds, which is crazy. And now once I zero out everything, again, I can prestige to boost the meta efficiency, which means, of course, this is going to mean more overpowered production. So with this, you can see how quickly I'm getting to 4 hours, and really the patience meter gain is a really big factor into how fast everything is. I am trying to become sort of enlightened a little bit, which means I'm going to get better production. And then once I get this, it's going to start, it's going to be faster. And I'm reaching 5 hours, but I want more than 5 hours. So it takes about 20 seconds for the patience meter to max out, which is really okay. There's not much else. There's no more lore. The update thing is really not much more. I have 5 hours of everything except development, and you could see it's really just getting this up there. So now if I max development, I can gain an update point. I may not be going for 2. That looks a bit hard. So I think I'm just going to be mostly going for updates. I really think that's the thing I should be doing. I'm going to be going for probably patience. So I'm going to get an update point. It'll be assigned to this, and now I'm going to be getting more. I should be getting more per. Yeah, I'm going to be getting more patience meter, and I could have gone for something else, but there's some upgrades here, and yeah, and everything's back down to the slowness of usual. So this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm probably going to just be doing a clip every now and then, and to just quickly get an update, and then that's it. There's really not much else I can do. The achievements, yeah, I do want to get some of these achievements. I want to get these. Yeah, this is gonna be. It's gonna be crazy getting all this. So, yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, so it's been a few minutes, and yeah, I can get a lot more devs which is sort of useful. It's still disappointingly slow. Just compared to what it was before, it's still disappointingly slow. It's still taking a while for me to really get any actual progression, and I mean it is getting faster. But I can't even really get. I can't get much of the prestige in yet. And okay, I am getting more devs, which is useful. I get to like okay, it is starting to get faster. I think once you get like an hour and a half, that's when the game speed really picks up. Like I think I probably need to be prestiging at like an hour. So I'm just gonna be going here, just putting a few here, putting a few here, so I can just help speed up the game a little bit because it's pretty slow at this point. And I'm just gonna be going a little bit more into refactoring so I can just get the scaling to be slower. And honestly, just okay, that's really not much. Get more refactoring, more devs, which is going to be useful. Get like 55 maybe, and then I can get an hour of the refactoring and the efficiency. And yeah, it's always good to get like an hour. That's to get an hour gain of something is pretty useful. I can even get a little more. So I'm going to prestige here. It's going to be a 5 times multiplier. And now you can see it's just all of the sudden a lot faster. Because it's yeah, this is a game. It's really slow start. But once you get past that brutal start, it's a lot faster. That's really how this game works. Except when you near the 5-hour mark. When you near the 5-hour mark, it can get a bit grindy. But it's like once you're past like 1 hour, it's between like 1 and 4 hours. It's actually quite fast. So, and like that's sort of this is really the strategy. Just get this, get as much prestige as I can, which is gonna help speed things up. And then just focus on a little bit of everything, and just try to get the prestige up to. It's good to try to get like an hour at a time. That seems like a pretty good amount. So you can see an hour and a half gain of the refactoring is going to result in slower scaling. And now with even slower scaling here, it's going to be even quicker. And I'm now up to 3.5 hours of development. And I can just keep doing this. It's going to give me not quite an hour, but still quite a bit of prestige. So what I'm probably going to be doing, actually, I'm going to do some off-camera progression and just try to get a lot of update points at once. Because I definitely need some more update points. Because it's pretty slow. And if I can just knock out one of these upgrades, it'll be crazy. Like, I'm not even sure which one I should go into, but yeah, it seems like something. It seems like something really, really useful that I can. The upgrades just seem like a very useful thing I can do. So yeah, see you after I have grinded like a crazy amount. Okay, so it's been like really long, and I can finally get 2 update points. 6 hours of development in 7 seconds. I needed to get the patient. I needed to enlighten so many times. The last time it took 3 hours to get the patience meter all the way up. So basically, I think the moral of this story is that I should not go for 2 update points. But here we go. This is going to give me a new achievement, which is always a good thing, because it's going to give me more multiplier all production, more patience meter gain, and more patience meter kept. So so moral of the story, I probably should not be going for this, the 2 update points. So this is so tempting, and I think everything is really tempting. The auto dev thing seems really good. I'm just gonna go for some of the dev game from recruitment, and oh yeah, it's just 1, so I can maybe I'll just do it even on all. I'm just gonna do 2, 2, 2, and this should be pretty good. I should have already assigned this dev. Unfortunately, it starts out very slow, and you can just hear me complaining about this way too many times. So I should be getting another dev. Yeah, there we go. This is gonna help. Once I get like more devs, it just gets a little bit easier. So I have 2. There's 3. So I'm gonna start putting it onto everything else, and then just wait a little bit. So yeah, see in a bit. Okay, so it's been a little bit, and yeah, I can actually I can get a lot of things going. So this is gonna all help, just getting as many getting a bunch of devs onto everything right here. And you can see it just keeps going up, and then I should probably just eventually just get everything onto like meta efficiency, because once you get enough efficiency, it's really good. The thing is that it just takes a while for it to become what you would call really good. So I'm getting an hour of efficiency. That's a 4 times boost, which is pretty good. And once you start getting slower scaling and more of these boosts, it really starts speeding things up. And this is really how I should actually be focusing on these updates. I should just try to just do this core gameplay loop over and over again. And yeah, this is basically how everything is done. Just like, again, it gets a lot faster once you get to an hour. So I also just can get a few here, even though it's not really doing much. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a lot of offline, or not offline. I keep thinking offline progression, off-camera progression, like after I update one more time. So you can see I'm gaining again 2 hours, which is really good actually. It's giving me like a 15 times production boost, and all of a sudden this is gonna get me so some more gain. It's a little bit slower, but I think once I get meta refactoring up to like an hour and a half of gain, that's gonna be what is gonna really make it a lot more OP. So here we go. Look at this. I gained so much more, and hopefully I can try to get 4 hours of the production, or of the efficiency. It still is slow at this point. So that's unfortunately the game. Sometimes it can be very slow. There's nothing. Okay, there is something in the lore. You've got enough experience from past updates that you now can make bigger updates. How far will this go? I don't think it's gonna. Doesn't seem like it's gonna go very far. 6 hours was way too much of a grind for me to actually get. So yeah, I'm not gonna go much more. So again, just do this to max everything, and it's not gonna quite be an hour, but it's pretty close. Oops, I probably shouldn't be doing this to start. There we go. And now everything's gonna be a lot faster. Just really, it's just the grind for just a few. The grind for the 5 hours. The beginning and the end is always the slowest part. That's the thing with this. It's always the beginning and the end that is the really slow part. But like once you get there, once you get towards the end, but in the middle, it's really not all that bad. So again, it's just a lot of core. It seems like this core gameplay loop is just get as many update points as I can. This is the thing is, I'm used to having more endgame power. That's why it seems like it's really slow. But what I think Head Start and Endgame are the things I should be going for. And this start with 10 devs is already really good, but then I also unlock auto assignment, which is going to make everything a lot faster. That means I only have to focus on the prestiging. And actually, if you get the patience meter up, it becomes a lot faster. Honestly, I probably shouldn't be maxing this. I should probably just go a few into... Okay, maybe, I think one more of these. Because this is going to give me better scaling. So, get this, get this, get this, and then put the rest in here. So it only takes a little bit to get the patience meter to max out, and then it's really just this this little loop. Just I max all into devs, and then I start slowly distributing it in other areas. So you can, because I don't really need the devs once you get to a certain point. Like you could just I probably could just do that, and I'm just gonna do this, and that's really all I'm gonna need in order for me to get 5 hours. I think the slower scaling is good enough for me to get all the way to 5 hours. So you can see it's now just, I don't even need to go for the patience meter maxing out. I can probably, actually I think I may need to enlighten one time. And it just takes a while, but it's not too bad. So yeah, see in a bit. There we go, that's I think enough. Put like one into dev, or put a few into devs, and then eventually just get everything to try to get everything to development, and hopefully I can update. It's I think this must be good enough to update. I'll just wait a little bit. There it is. Just a few minutes later, I can release an update and get one update point. So it's really not much else I can do. It's really just the beginning and the end that is the hard part. And once I get that, like I'm getting close. I'm like halfway to these upgrades. So I think once I can get these upgrades, it's gonna be a lot better. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Peace out.